I'm not on mute this time. I'm not on mute this time. But anyone that's here, it's time to talk some absolute smack on Chelsea. I've got a decent enough panel to do that. There's a rivalry over in Tottenham with the Chelsea lots. I've got someone that supports Tottenham that's gonna absolutely probably shed into them, and also a very shameless man who thinks he's a City fan. Can you guess who it is? But today we're going to be just doing a recap on the weekend. Liverpool, the Wolves, the offside, the Man United, how they're doing, etc. Get other people's opinions, not myself. I'm not muted, by the way, Max. Also, alongside, what's it called? Last but not least, of course, Chelsea, Man City, and the rest of it. Even maybe Newcastle. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about Newcastle and see about their depth and what's going to happen. But guys, if you are here, it's nice to see there's 33 people in here already, 40 likes. Smash the like button, and if you're new, do hit the subscribe button. And you know what's going to happen right now? It's intro time, baby. And we're back just like that. It's nice to see everyone in here. I'm going to quickly get some comments up as well so I can big some of you guys up in the building. Daniel in here, obviously Christian Hoover was the first comment, said the head of Hogwarts is officially on the chopping block. He doesn't have quality players. He has Dementors moving around the pitch. That is a very good analogy. I like that. Just like Todd Voldemort and a chamber of stinkers. Daniel, make sure to hit the like button, guys. If we're here, let's get this to 100 likes minimum and push that. Wolves FI says, obviously all the way from Finland. He's a Wolves fan. Why do you think City facing Arsenal next in the FA Cup? Disrespect for Oxford is unreal. Well, you never know. You never know. But Arsenal is up next. Not just for Man City, but for Tottenham as well. And Man United. Lucky Singh says, yes, Manchester United keep pressure on Glazers. They now want the full sell. Is likely. No, the full sell is happening, Mr. Lucky Singh. It is happening. There's it don't matter what pressure you put on them, it's getting done whether you like, whether people like it or not. But I see you always in here chanting for the Glazers out, and you're always very firm with that. Big up Martin says, watch out, here comes Spider-Man. Spider-Man, is that who they're calling Julian Alvarez these days, right? Spidey or something like that. Big up Ed. Gareth Bell just decided to steal your thunder, lads. Gareth Bell? Wait, what happened with Gareth Bell? I'm so confused. Big up Sid in the building as well. Big up Marcus. Big up Max. I wasn't on mute. I nearly did it though. I can't lie. Hi Cass, press like button if you know Paul robbed. If you know Paul robbed Paul. You mean if Liverpool robbed Wolves, right? Chico HD says, hello mate, I am new here. I want to ask you, what do you think about Anthony so far? Underwhelming? No. He's been okay. Like, he's just been okay, but it's been nothing outstanding. Not for an £84 million price player. Do you get what I mean? It's nothing. This day and age, it's like 80 million is the norm, right? Big up Jamie, I see you now. Jordan Brown. There's no football Fico Mo. I think I'll be back maybe tomorrow. Oh, Bell retired. Oh, for real? It's about time, innit? You can go play golf full time now. Must be class at that. So yeah, Bell had a great career. But without further ado, of course, guys, I'm seeing 55 likes already, 70 in here. Keep it coming. So, as you might see, you can see who the shameless man is here, right? So, and I'm not talking about the Spurs one, even though he can be a little bit shameless. He thinks his club's decent, but it's really not. But he's very, what can I say about Sean? He's probably the loveliest guy I've actually ever met. Well mannered. Unfortunately, he supports Spurs, but he's realistic with his club. Like, he's not one of them mad delusional ones that go off and beyond talking about their club, and like, he's realistic about the situation. He's realistic about what's going to be happening and where he can be and where he should be. So that's probably the best words I can talk about Sean. So he's level-headed Spurs fan. You don't get many of them. Fuad's another one of them. But then you got your emotional Spurs fans. No names. I don't really want to big out or embarrass anybody, but you can work them out for yourself. And then you got your obviously shameless plugs like George and You know, you got Patrick who talks a bit of sense, can be a little bit shameless at all the same time. But let me get him in anyways. Big up, Mr. Sean in the building. How we doing?
Good, mate. Good. How are you?
I'm doing. Could be better.
Yeah.
I could be better because I'm actually quite. I got a mad sore throat, man. I'm actually pretty ill.
I'm sorry to hear that, man, but I've got to call you out. When you say things like £80 million is about the norm now,
Yeah, it's
like,
it's like the norm now. Like, you know, when it's
it's not the
inflated. It's
norm now. It's
well,
not the
I'm
norm
not
now.
being funny, but 60 million on Richarlison.
Yeah, that was
It's
ridiculous as well.
it's
That
like
was silly
the
as well.
market is just insane. He's not look. Anthony is not a. He's not nowhere near an £80 million player. Not anyways, not right now. I don't think when you got an £80 million attacker, I expect goals and assists. Do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. But if
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah, yeah.
provide a different dynamic to the team where you
And two
chip
foot.
in and you might have a different kind of style of play, a little bit like Jack Grealish in a way. He's not 100 million. Let's face it, he's a £60 million player, 65 million
Have you
pound
seen? Have
player.
you seen that list? There was a list that was sent around on various WhatsApp groups and Twitter that showed, like, I think it was like the top 12 signings of Premier League history, and only Virgil van Dijk has proven to be a success. The other 11 or whatever it was are
Mm.
either definite flops or, so far yet to make any real impact. And so I feel like the money in football is such a problem.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just because businesses are earning more and more. We obviously both know what it is. So do you
yeah.
get what I mean? Like, you know more than me. You're a part of that life. But other than Spurs, not really here to talk about Spurs today. Other than Bell, maybe. So it is quite relevant. But to bring in the Mr. Shameless man himself, I still believe he supported Arsenal only about 10 years ago. You can probably go back when they win the league. But nah, to be fair, he's actually a decent character and he doesn't show anyone disrespect personally. So purely on football, Hamza in the building with a shiny head. What you telling me, man?
Yeah, big up everyone, man. Come on. I want to introduce me, yeah? I hate us. Listen, yeah, big up everyone. How you guys doing? Hope you guys doing okay, man. Nah, I'm just here to support my club. Never been an Arsenal fan. Why am I associated with that club? Why?
Hey, Hamza, we can't.
Why?
Hamza,
This rumors. I
Hamza.
need
Do
to.
you remember that last show where me and that we kind of caught you out, my guy, man? We kind of caught you out. It's all right. It's all right. It's fine. It is what it is. You're shameless, isn't it? But it's just like, you know what it is. If you used to be like hands up, be like, you know what, I just didn't want to support that rubbish club. That's it. It would have been fine. I think in my opinion, it's just that you going like your Man City hardcore fan now.
Ultra. You've seen the new Arsenal Ultra fans as well. You've seen them when they come
I
into
like.
the
To be fair, let's talk about that a little before we go on to Chelsea. I kind of like that. Like, I don't get the no face, no case thing because it's like,
Mm,
mate, you're not gonna cause no trouble. You're making noise, and
yeah.
I kind of like that. Like, I want teams, especially youngers, to go into their respective clubs and create an atmosphere because there are some libraries everywhere. Like half of Empty had, you know,
Hybrid the library.
Highbury the library. You know, there's all sorts of names. Even Old Trafford can be quiet. Not this season, but in recent years, it's been a library as well. This season,
Tottenham's been like appalling this season.
and
Even
Appalling.
Do
Liverpool
you remember
fans.
West Ham? Do you remember West Ham when they had to start playing music over the fans cheering because they're so far away
Oh,
from the pitch that there was not enough decibels going into the ground for the people to hear all around. So they had to play some music over it. Crazy, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
crazy, man.
absolutely
Even
awful.
Liverpool fan was complaining today about their stadium in
I saw that
Anfield.
the guy in the car, right?
Yeah, he said, I'm tired and all. See, the problem is, yeah, listen, City fans, we put our hand up here, but everyone else now being exposed. Even Anfield, apparently, they play this kind of like speakers with that, you'll never walk alone,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
try and sound a bit. And you see, you get that because football's now becoming international games. People travel to watch their team play. People travel to watch City or Liverpool or Spurs or United. People dream towards us. And I think that morale of this having this atmosphere is going to be something in the past. I think I'm being honest.
I agree as well,
I
man.
just think everybody in life is a little bit like fed up and miserable because the world, like bigger things in the world, just getting everybody down. And so if you go to watch your game of football and your team isn't winning or your team isn't playing sexy football or whatever the catalyst for it is, everyone's very happy to become very miserable and sulky very quickly. And so I hope it's not going to be something that sustains and carries on that way. But the atmospheres around the Premier League this year just and nothing like what they have been in the past, and it's a real shame, But I think it's a symptom of people just being generally unhappy in life more now than ever before.
So just basically people that are absolutely miserable, got nothing else to do but complain, and
Yeah,
and that's just the way it's gonna have to be, guys. By the way, there's 90 people in here. Do smash the like button. Look, there's a little thing that right down there in the bottom left, as you can see. It's a smash the like. It's a little widget for you guys. It's for you to remind yourselves. Why do we like likes, Sean? Just
Well, because
for people that don't understand.
because it sets engagement metrics into the algorithm, and then YouTube goes, oh look, this channel is pretty popular, I better show it to more people, and it helps the channel grow.
There you go. See, people like Hamza can understand that. It was absolutely dumbed down as much as needed as possible for people to understand.
I'm thinking about
stuff.
lifting Champions League, man. I don't care about the likes.
No. Hamza, you was getting down by Chelsea fans singing flipping you'll never sing that. Like you think I didn't see that, my guy. Anyways, let's dive in a little bit into Chelsea Football Club. Let's talk about Chelsea as a whole. Not before we get into anything else, just Chelsea in general. Let's start off with you, Hamza, man.
Yeah, I've been called a Chelsea hater when I called out Tuchel being a fraud. I think I did that video where I've been on to Tuchel when they beat us in the Champions League, and I was after him. From that case onwards, I was just after him. I remember when we lost that Champions League game, to me, I was angry, upset. And then I remember Chris Sutton, when he called me and he said, oh, and I said, listen, Tuchel will never achieve anything at a Premier League level. And I was right, because he was a good manager, but he wasn't that Premier League manager who would take Chelsea to the top level. But Chelsea fans had this, and they loved him because he won them the Champions League. They love players like Monts, Havertz. These guys, winning the Champions League was a mistake by Pep, not playing a DM. So sacking Tuchel, I was against Tuchel, and I thought he wasn't good enough for Chelsea. But to sack Tuchel and get Graham Potter was the biggest embarrassment in football. Because if you sack Tuchel, you have to go and get better. You have to. I don't think, I've always said to Chelsea fans, there's two types of managers you can get. You can get a manager with a CV. That's what, when you go and apply for a job, they ask you for your CV. What have you done? And then you have to have a CV. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Arteta never had a CV. He just had.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna come. I'm gonna come to that. You can either have the CV, yeah, or you can have which is less risky, because Pep will show you. Look at my Ancelotti can show you. Trapattoni, Fergie, they can show you the CV. Look at my CV. It's amazing. There are less risks. Then there's great risks where you take someone with lack of, he doesn't have the CV, and Arteta's that. But what was different about Arteta, and I said it to a lot of fan base, what we heard from City, inside Man City, was, I remember going to that game, Man City beat them 3-0 in Emirates. And City Football Group were upset Arteta leaving. If you look at that documentary, he's a very intelligent guy. He worked with Pep. Pep Guardiola worked with the squad. When he was managing Barcelona B, he came from the same understanding. If you look at City Football Group coaches, Arteta, Patrick Vieira, Vincent Kompany, look at the style of football. They know how to play football. So for me, it was a great risk, but he came from something special, and they couldn't get anything better, because Arsenal couldn't have got Luis Enrique. And Arteta was special. I told Arsenal fans, he's a fantastic manager. He's a fantastic coach. He was even hoped to come back at City. If you ask Daps, yeah, there was links that Arteta will be the next City manager. We were hearing rumors like that. Yeah, from the board. We were hearing rumors. He's very highly rated at City so much. So Arteta was different to Graham Potter. Graham Potter comes from Brighton. Brighton can lose 2 games, win 4 games. It's okay. It's a great success. If you lose 2 games and win 3 games or 4 games for United or Chelsea, it's a failure. You cannot lose 6 games or 7 games or 8 games. 8 games too much. So Graham Potter will fail. There's no project. I'll be honest with you. And I saw that when I went to the Premier League game. Bro, there's no motivation. Managers, you're losing. Why are you not standing? Why are you not smashing the bottles that Pep does? You see Pep smashing, kicking bottles. He's upset. He's winning, but the guy is enthusiastic. Conte are the same. Mourinho are the same. They have this love. And these players are losing games. They come to the dress. They're not scared. Look at the guy who sat down like that. 4-0 down. He's not talking. Pep is shouting. Pep's calling Cancelo. What are you? He's winning 4-0.
Let me interject there a little sec, Hamza. It's a bit refreshing to hear you talk some normal sense stuff before. I'm pretty sure you're gonna talk some shit soon. Sean, do you think it's kind of unfair on Potter? It's hard before we talk about the actual City game, like I want and actually dissect that a little sec as well. But Chelsea fans are calling for Potter's head, and yes,
Yeah.
he's not got the results. Yes, he might not see the fit. I think it's overboard because the same thing was happening to Arteta. Remember, Arteta went on a first stint of an absolute shit run.
Yeah, yeah.
If I remember, it was
Yeah.
like one win in so many games. Chelsea
Yeah.
fans, like, I get it. You're not going to sort anything out, but he did not spend that 300 million. Now, today, Simon Jordan came out and said he's found out some information about Tuchel that in a heartbeat, he would have sacked him straight away. Like, something like that along those lines. Talk sport, but when it comes to Simon Jordan, there's times when he could be very truthful and could talk sense, or he could just be the talk sport Simon Jordan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This whole consensus around Tuchel, Potter, was it wrong? Do you reckon, in your opinion, that it was wrong to sack Tuchel at that point? And is it wrong that these fans are actually calling out for Potter's actual head? Because he hasn't spent a single penny, and it's the same squad, the same shit. And what does that remind you of, Sean? Both of our teams, right? In the past.
Yeah.
And now it's the same shit.
So for me, yeah, look, it's a weird one with Chelsea. I think that when you got like the problem wasn't Tuchel. I don't think the problem is Potter necessarily. I think the problem is, you know, knee-jerk reactions from new owners coming in that want to make statement signings, that want to like create their own thing. They don't want to like take on somebody else's legacy. They want to kind of have a clean sweep. So that there's a problem there if that guy doesn't come in with an absolute concrete plan and a vision. And it doesn't look like he did, because he spent like half as much money as he spent since Potter's come in. He spent that for Tuchel right before in the summer. And so it doesn't look like he has much of a clue really what he's doing. He wants to throw money around. And it's a brilliant example, just like you take Everton as another example, probably Villa, probably West Ham. Spending money doesn't like demand or guarantee success. It's obviously a stepping stone to it if you get everything else right, but it's how you spend it. To me, I think the biggest issue is the owner just like going out throwing money at things without really any kind of like ideology or vision that's clear. Yeah. I also think though that Potter probably doesn't have the respect of some of those players yet. I think that he's come from a team where, you know, he took youngsters, he took nobodies, he put in his philosophy. He was definitely the captain of that entire ship and worked in synchronization with the owners of Brighton. But he was obviously the biggest, like he was the draw, and he was the guy that got the best out of, you know, some young unknown players. He comes then into Chelsea, and I think it's a little bit of a bigger, like it's a bigger boat. It's a guy who's a captain of a yacht who's trying to take over an oil tanker. And I don't think he necessarily has got the command of that team, that respect yet. I'm not saying he won't have it, but I think that that's also a problem. Players not necessarily, you know, clear on what he wants. And I think he looks a little bit nervous. He looks a little bit like he's a duck out of water at this level. So I think there's a lot of things going wrong. As far as Tuchel, mate, I haven't heard what Simon Jordan said, so I don't know whether Simon Jordan is onto something and that Tuchel did something that was, you know, abhorrent or unforgivable. But yeah, again, I don't think he deserved to go. I think that things were looking a little bit poor with the start to their season.
Could you say some of them signings weren't his signings though, as well, at the same time? Do you reckon he wanted all those players?
No, I think the owner. Well, I heard rumors that the owner said, like when the owner first came in, like with Koulibaly, I think was the prime example. That Tuchel said, "Oh, I wouldn't mind Koulibaly," as like a passing comment, and then 24 hours later they went and got him. Like, wow. and that's what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but like it was one of those kind of like conversations where Bowley comes in and wants to like do something.
Oh, he wants to flaunt himself around. I'm the big man out here. This, that, and the other. No,
and I don't think that he doesn't know enough about football. Like he's a brilliant businessman, brilliant like American sports knowledge, but I don't think he knows the first thing about football.
He's getting people in. Like there are people coming. The guy from Leipzig, or is it Leipzig, or is it?
It was Leipzig. Yeah, Leipzig.
Like that. They're getting a few people in the background, but they're not coming till like the summer. You know.
Yeah.
And Nkunku is pretty much. I think Potter gave the go ahead for that, and I think they're always going to get him anyways. I'm not sure about that.
They'll figure it out. Kaz,
this is a good.
Right now, it's a volatile moment for them.
Christopher here is. By the way, guys, there's 130 of you in here. 11 away from 100 likes already. Like before the 20-minute mark. Come on, guys. Let's make sure you're getting your burners burner. It don't matter what it is. A like is a like, and we're gonna keep asking for them pretty much throughout the whole show until you get bored. So, but yeah, so what I was going to say, Christopher here says Potter has a CV building of a project. He done it with Östersund and Brighton. Chelsea fans just need to give him time. Hamza, you was calling out like if you're going to sack Tuchel.
I think listen. I think the biggest toxic thing is you got these Chelsea fans are trickling in saying give him time. And I think they're the worst. They're the worst because do not accept mediocrity. United paid the price of employing David Moyes. I remember. To me, it was one of the best things. I remember I spoke my fan base. I was taking United fans. There's no way they were telling me, look what he's done to Everton. I said, come on. Are we really serious? Everton, you've given him a 6-year contract. What did United do? They failed. That step, United paid the price for many years. So they need to, I think Graham Potter and David Moyes, they're on the same level. Same level, no disrespect. I hope that Chelsea fan base, there's two types of fan base who already seen this and they say, no, we're not accepting this. We're not accepting this failure. I don't care. This season, we are looking closely to every game. Then you got this deluded Chelsea fan. No, it's okay to take a loss. It's okay. It will take time. No, it will not take time. Why are you taking that time? Why are you taking Chelsea FC? I'm sorry about it. The reason why they used to be successful, and you can criticize them as much as you want. They got that success because they were like, this is crap. We're getting sacked of you. And Graham Potter is not the same level as the managers they've had. Ancelotti, the likes of Conte, Mourinho. Yeah, these guys are special managers. You know, I'll give you an example. Mason Mount is holding Chelsea to a contract. Mason Mount.
Yeah, I see that. 300K. You see that as well, Sean? 300K.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
It's madness.
Are you serious? This is the football club.
Mr. Cobham himself wants that.
Yeah. Do you think Conte and all these managers will come? Mourinho would hear that. What would Mourinho say? He'll say, get out. We're paying you 300,000 a week after you perform that shocking display. This is why Chelsea need to get a manager with experience who man like Luis Enrique. He's achieved everything at Barca. He will say, I've seen Xavi, I've seen Iniesta, Mason Mount. If you don't perform, I'm throwing you under the bus. They'll be scared. These players are not scared. You saw that. Bro, you saw what Chelsea, 4-0 down. They know they're not going to get ballot. Imagine Fergie. Yeah, Kaz, yeah? You're losing 4-0. What would have happened? Half-time or full-time? They're scared to go to the dressing room. Even same as Pep.
Yeah, but at least then, if I go 4-0 down even at halftime with Fergie, not all the time, but a lot of times, like when we've been 3-0 down, I think it was only at Tottenham, it was 3-0 down to Tottenham.
Tottenham, yeah.
5-3. Like, do you get what I mean? I know there's a chance regardless of the scoreline. I get what you mean. There's levels to this game, isn't there? There's levels to this.
Man.
So, Sean, like, let me just reiterate that then onto Conte. You can go down 2-0 and Conte clearly can get these players by the balls at some point, whether some way or another, and he can get you a result. Because you are classed as second half FC at the moment.
Yeah. We're never out of a game, right? So there's like the positive spin to it, but we're never in the game in the first half. And like if you're good enough to rally the troops at halftime, why can't you rally the troops for 90 minutes? There's two ways you can look at that.
I think it's a mentality thing. You know, like once you're out the game a little bit, it's like, okay, now you need to get slapped up the arse to make sure you get going.
But it shouldn't have to happen though, right? These guys are professionals. They should be able to be up for the game from the get-go. They should want to be able to take the lead. And I don't know whether it's like taking the shackles off, taking the chains off. I can't listen. I'm not a sports psychologist. I wish I was to be able to know what the hell's going on. But it doesn't seem to matter what 11 players we put out there. They're all capable of going to sleep. And Conte,
it's like Chelsea at the moment, then, isn't it?
Yeah, and I was going to ask you guys, like, do you like in a world, because I think that Conte's, I can't see Tottenham doing enough in this window to keep him happy.
Get someone, but it's like if you're gonna get, it's just gonna be. I feel like it's just gonna be the one player.
Yeah, maybe.
And the one player that you don't need.
Well, listen, I'm hopeful that we're going to get that Pedro Porro in, but now Chelsea apparently might come in and pay the money, whatever, right? But we'll see what happens. But I don't think that Conte will be the manager of Tottenham for the start of next season. I think that he won't sign the new contract. I don't think we'll extend the contract.
Harry Kane to Man United.
Possibly, we'll cross all that bridge when we get to it. But if Potter continues to struggle at Chelsea, do you think that there's any chance that you could see Todd Bowley cancel Potter and Conte go back there?
I think Potter's probably a better fit for Tottenham because it reminds me of a Pochettino kind of similar kind of thing. Do you get what I mean? He'll give time. Yeah. The owners will probably get along better with like personality clash won't be there. And probably Conte will probably end up back at Chelsea. You look at Chelsea, they'll give me what I want. Do you want me? They give me what I want. This is the project for me.
100%.
Do you think that's well, Hamza?
Yeah, listen, you see, there's one comment someone said about basically, look what he did at Brighton. But look at the manager at Brighton now.
Oh, deserving.
He's playing very good. They've got a good structure, Brighton. Brighton have got good structure, but that's Brighton's structure. You can't be Brighton. You're Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club is way bigger than Brighton. And the success, with expectation at Brighton and expectation at Chelsea is different. It's completely different. Chelsea expected to be top. They expected to be top 4. It's a failure for Chelsea not to be top 4. The fact that he did at Brighton, the other managers doing even better, way better.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say way better
because he playing more beautiful football.
I would say way better. Technically, I wouldn't say way better because Potter did have them in the top 4 for a long time, or even just like when I say long time, I mean like the 6-game stint or whatever stint that he did have. Like he did have them balling out, but Zerbi has clearly taken over and done just as good as a job. It's because they play kind of similar football. You know, the Zerbi throws the kitchen sink. Do you get what I mean? Like that's him. Kitchen sink, go get that game for me. One way or another, even if you concede, I know you got goals in you. It's weird, isn't it? Let me go through some of the comments. I want to see what some of the guys are saying as well before we move on from Chelsea. Just a little bit. It's not actually moving on from Chelsea, is it? Because Man City and Chelsea, it's kind of linked at the moment. It's like they're whipping boys at the moment, isn't it? Marcus is saying Mount, the attacking midfielder, best known for his defensive work rate. Asking for that big bag is a disgrace. Just taking advantage of the situation, really. Can I see him going to somewhere like Liverpool if you don't get that money 100%? If Chelsea sign Declan Rice, he will stay. And he'll probably sign the same kind of wage, I would say. It just if best friend comes, you're not gonna go nowhere, are you? Christian Hoover says Daps, great point yesterday about the false 9. You're putting fullbacks in midfield to add numbers and defense exposed. That's the system change I think you're referring to. I said as well, Sergio Gomez, I told Daps at the start of the season, guy's a good player. He's just had a shit start, but he's got ability. That man's very, very light-footed. It would suit a lot more. He's like a Angelino but better. Like he is. Angelino was just above average, I'd say. Just defensively a bit shit. Pablo, as saying, Pedro Porro is wanted by Chelsea now. Who else is there? That says reminder of yesterday. Kane is going on a 300%. He ain't forgot how much Levy mugged him off and his brother off. Wait, is Kane's contract isn't up till next summer, 2024, right?
Yeah. 18 months.
That would be a burner, man.
I don't know how he mugged. I don't know how he mugged his brother off. I'm not sure about that.
I think it's his brother, his agent, or
yeah. But Manchester City didn't pay. Like they didn't offer any money. Like, so I don't know how that's Daniel Levy's fault.
Yeah, Paul Tierney. I wonder, do City have a buyback clause on Pedro Porro, Spurs transfer target? Yes, they do. Isn't that right, Hamza? Right? You got.
Yeah, City. I think City have a buyback clause of 18 to 19 million, around 20 million there, 15 to 20 million.
So why don't they just buy him back and then sell him?
Bro, he's brilliant. I've watched him. Him and who's that left back for PSG? They were outstanding. Mendes, that's it.
Yeah, Mendes.
Mendes and him were, and he's been the best right back in Portugal for the last 3 years. In fact, if Rico Lewis wasn't playing this well, that's what's hampered now. We were on track of talking about rumors that he might come back, but Rico Lewis is coming.
And he's 17 and he's English. So
and we can't exactly. He's 17, 18, and City should buy Pedro Porro and make a profit of it. But the problem is that Rico Lewis is playing so well that if we buy Pedro Porro, where we're gonna play him, but he's a brilliant buy for Tottenham. I'll tell you that. He's brilliant. He's young. Madrid were linked with him last year with Barcelona. Barca were very highly linked with him. Coming like September, August, I was listening. But he's a brilliant right back. Like, if you guys get him, he's only 23, 24, is it now? We loaned him up for 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So, and I think
I wouldn't mind if City bought him and then loaned him to Tottenham for 18 months to let him get.
That could be a thing, though. That could be a thing.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Like, like the regular Don. I call him not regular Don, basically a regular player. But it'd be like that sort of deal, innit? Like you loan him for the rest of the season and give us an optional buy.
A few million.
Yeah, something like that. It'll probably be about 40, 50 million, probably. If that's the case, though.
But if Tottenham is like they're idiots right now.
If you Conte, would you even want a wing back though, or would you want a right back? Because
this is I have this conversation with Tottenham fans all day, every day. Like the problem with having a manager who plays a very specific system and who holds out on not signing a new contract is like who needs to move first? Like, should the manager back Conte when Conte's not going to be around for the next 6 months? And if so, you're either going to buy masters of one position that don't suit the likely system of the next managerial candidate, like a Pochettino or a Potter, or do you buy a jack of all trades? And that's not just for right wing backs. You can make the same argument about someone who plays in the middle of a back three. Like, not that I want him, but I can see the merit to it. Harry Maguire, you could make the argument he could come in and do a good job for Tottenham in the middle of a back three. Can't play in a back four.
I take him because if not, he's going to Aston Villa apparently. But that's all bullshit. But Man City, they played yesterday. They played Chelsea off the park. Mahrez not really been in favour this year. To be fair, let's be honest. They can score goals without Haaland, clearly. So Mahrez scored an absolute beautiful free kick. Foden's finish was even better, in my opinion, because the direct that ball into the bottom left away from Kepa was sensational. You open your body out, that's like a pass. He passed it into the net. And also it's just, I don't know, Chelsea aggressive defending didn't work against City. Maybe they should have been a little bit more cautious. They played well in the first 10 minutes, Chelsea, but then it's just they faded. It's not whatsoever. Man City are playing good football at the moment. That's probably the response they wanted after, you could say, a 1-0 poor win, but a poor performance at Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. They're bouncing back. And after pretty much needed when you got Man United at Old Trafford on the weekend.
And then Tottenham after that.
Yeah, so Hamza, man, what are we saying about City, man? Are you be very honest. Are you happy with Man City's performances this season compared to most seasons?
There's some games I'm disappointed, like Everton, Brentford, Villa. Those drop points, but you know what? One thing is you never doubt them. That's one thing. Pepper's put that pressure. They've set that standard so high, yeah, that you can never doubt them now. You can doubt them in Europe, but in the league you can't doubt. They're the master of this. They're frustrated. Look, this is a football club that has frustrated many football clubs in this country. They made Liverpool throw the towel down. Liverpool psychologically affected this season because after doing what they did last season, you've won all the games. And City winning in the last minute, last 15 minutes. You throw them. What else can you do? Look at Liverpool. They're never the same again. I'm saying one thing. We have to be shameless,
Yeah.
For saying, like, listen, quadruple's on, baby. Quadruple is on. Yeah? Bring...
Oh my God. Are you guys are you guys in the comments hearing this? I think even
Thursday
I think even City fans in here will be like, oh no, this guy's talking some absolute shit. You sound like Liverpool fans, bro.
No, we're not arrogant. No, we're not arrogant. Cause you know we're nice guys. We don't brag. Listen,
no,
I want that. Listen, it came to a moment where Arsenal were ahead of the league before we went on Thursday to play Chelsea. And Arsenal fans, cars were calling me saying, imagine we're going to be 10 points ahead before you play Chelsea. La, la, la. They bottled you Newcastle at home. Yeah, we go to Chelsea, it's 5 points. They're scared. They're nervous. Imagine Arsenal. They're nervous. They're scared. They can't even falter today at Oxford. They can't falter because everyone's watching them. Yeah, they're under pressure. And I think Arsenal and now they cannot handle pressure. They cannot. I don't think Arsenal can handle this pressure. We will put them under relentless pressure.
Yeah,
that
maybe.
I believe their fan base, they've been talking about, look at the goals, how we're scoring goals. Cuz we scored the most beautiful goal on Wednesday and yesterday. And I just tweeted that Pep's style of football is the greatest style of football the English football has ever witnessed. Arsenal fans had to react. United fans didn't react. Tottenham fans and it's also, I wish you saw Wenger's ball. We've seen Wenger's ball. He's been brilliant. But Pep's tiki-taka is the greatest. Like, literally, who can deny that? It's the greatest philosophy of football that everyone can say.
You're in love.
Like, bro,
you're in love.
40, 50 touches before goal.
You're in love. You're in love with your manager, man, and that's totally fine, man. It's like, no, because I'm the same with Ten Hag. I'm like, in a football perspective, I'm in love with the manager. Do you get what I mean? Like, not.
He is acclimated so well, Ten Hag. I thought when he first came in and you got smashed by Brentford and that, I would hold my hands up. I was like, he ain't it. I said it on your channel. I was like, I just don't think he's it. And then ever since that game, everything's just like clicked into place. And his football's good. He's got the backing of the players. He's made some tough decisions around big personalities. He's had the respect. Even what he did with Rashford for his.
It's a bit similar. It's funny. Another student of Pep come into play. Like Arteta, another student of Pep come into play. It's like Arsenal fans. They're in love with their manager. Of course, it's rightfully so, man. When you're passionate about something, right? Your passion means love, bro. So in that sense, you know, it is what it is. You call it for what it is. You're in love with your passion. So what's deriving that passion from you? And that stems from your manager to the players, right? So
Yeah.
that's why we like people fighting all the time. Like your Lisandro Martinez, your Ruben Diaz's, maybe you could say even your Christian Romero's. At the back for Arsenal, your Thomas Partey, your Saka's, all that. Anyways, but back to Manchester City. Sean, man, what do you make of them this season? Because for me, they haven't been as impressive as former Manchester City squads that have been formed. And it is around that side. It's like they're gonna win the A trophy this year. Do you actually? So on the Hamza's point, do you really think they're gonna win a quadruple? Because I tend to.
No. I think they'll win. I think they'll win a double.
I don't think
I don't
think you're gonna win no Champions League this season. Nah. I think not for me.
I think they'll win the Carabao Cup.
Oh,
I don't know. I don't know about the FA Cup. The FA Cup's a weird one. Obviously, the draw's been strange, been fascinating, been a good one for United and Tottenham. I think it all depends on what happens with Arsenal in that first leg. If Arsenal can get a draw at City and then take it back to the Emirates, then I don't know. That's an interesting one. But
I'm gonna have to pause you there.
Oh, okay.
Felix is going on loan to Chelsea. What have I been fucking saying?
Wow.
Felix is going to Chelsea.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
There's another.
You know what? You know what? I'd rather that than him go to Arsenal. So that's another player that Chelsea tried to hijack off of Arsenal.
They can only play 11 players at once.
I mean, I think it'd be very good for them.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. It's all too much. There's too much disruption to the dressing room. Too much. Like, how many players have they signed this season now?
3. This January already 3.
3 in January. What was it, like 5, 6 in the summer?
Like probably 12 or something like that.
I don't know how many they signed, but it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Like the only consistency in their approach right now. I said that they haven't really got a steer, a direction. The one thing is that they're very much going for young players, aren't they? So it doesn't affect their FFP, it doesn't affect their squad numbers, all that stuff. So, but it's that's a big one. It's a big one. I don't think Chelsea are going to be able to figure it out before the end of the season. I don't think they're going to be threatening top 4. Do you?
Joao Felix changes everything.
You reckon?
How long is Sterling out for, by the way, guys? I can't believe what I'm seeing right here. I'm
Not
literally
yet.
seeing it's all confirmed.
I think the thing is, Liverpool and Chelsea are both so bad, but the good thing about Liverpool, they're scoring goals. Chelsea are not. You see, that's the problem. That's what they had to go for. But the problem in Chelsea, Felix doesn't suit Chelsea's style of play. He's more of a tiki-taka style. He's more Pep and Arteta style of football.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see. You're gonna see this, and I think Felix to Chelsea will be a bad buy. And I think Chelsea.
So what is that loan? Is that a loan?
It's going to be a loan, yeah. They're going to give that 10 million loan because that's what Atletico asked for, 10 million. Is it 10 to 15 million? And Arsenal are going to offer 5 million, stingy as usual, yeah?
And they just got Badia Chile as well.
But they want to make that...
I can't believe...
It's going to be a loan.
So what is it? Is it a loan with obligation to buy? Because someone kind of confirmed, because I think Felix will suit Chelsea a lot. And I think he's going to go straight down the middle and go up front for them. He can't go left or right. Surely not, right, Sean?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. No. Like, I don't know why you're so secure in the fact that you think it's a game changer. I'm not sure it is,
man. You know what it is? It's like, you know what it is. So it's easy to boot a player when he's down, right? It's so easy. I've done it. You've probably done it. Everyone's done it. Yeah. One of their players.
Yeah,
but the guy's got the guy. It's without a buy option. It's just a loan as well. It's a dry loan, so it is what it is. So it's not no obligation to buy it. He's got talent. He's about 6 foot. He's not small, by the way. Like he's not tiny. He can keep the ball going. He'll probably link up with Sterling very, very well, and probably link up with that midfield extremely well. What they need. It's time to dump Kai Havertz, in my opinion. He's shit. He's one of the biggest waste of money in Premier League history. But it's just like it's like a missing jigsaw piece. If they get another winger, right now, in his current market,
do you think he's a bit lightweight?
No, he's not though. He played for Atletico Madrid. He's hardened.
He's very technical. He's got we've been linked with him before Haaland. It was Kane, Felix. He's very technical player, but he's also a bit lazy. He's lazy because he's those players that they got the talent. They'll not make you. They'll dribble past you, and they can score beautiful goals, fantastic goals. But can he score 15 league goals? Chelsea's strike issue, like look at Aubameyang now. They bought Aubameyang for 2 years. Yeah, he's been a flop. Chelsea fans are calling out Aubameyang already. They're already calling Aubameyang out already. Yeah, he was subbed on, subbed off after the game. They've now brought on Felix, and I don't think if they had beaten Man City yesterday, yeah, they would never have signed Felix. And I told Chelsea fans, yeah, Kaz, I told Chelsea fans, if we beat you both games, Todd Bowley will panic.
Sorry,
He'll panic
it's
and
an
we're
11
gonna sign a
million?
player.
Sorry, Hamza. Is it 11 million euro loan
11
fee
million euro.
for 6 months?
Well, let's
6 months, yeah.
For 6
6
months,
months.
that's a steal. And you know what the maddest thing is? He might even still end up at Atletico Madrid. He might even stay there.
That's a lot of money for 6 months.
Well, I mean, Lukaku got loaned out for 10 million for them for a year. So whatever they got loaned out fee from Inter Milan, they just basically
They wanted
basically
15 million.
for that.
They wanted 15 million euros. You remember? And Arsenal offered 5 million euros. Yeah.
I can't believe it.
And how, because Atletico Madrid, how much did they pay? 120 million for him? Kaz? They paid 120
Yeah,
million.
they paid a lot. They paid a lot of money for him. I'll be so honest, a lot of money. So it's just
Recouping some of that.
It's recouping some of that. It's just, but I think it's beggars can't be choosers. And if you're gonna get one of the quality players out of everywhere, then there you go, man. There's at least one, because in this current market, you could Chelsea get for their current lineup, for their front line. It's only Sterling at the moment. There's nobody else. No one else in that front line scares me. I was saying yesterday, right, Sean?
Yeah.
Even guys in the comments, I'm gonna go through some of your comments as well, yes. But keep making sure that you smash the like button. 16 away from 150, and make sure you check out these boys. Sean's channel as well, on the road to, I'm gonna say 5K at the moment. And alongside that, so if you like Spurs or you like Sean in general, is literally in the title above, you can find him, or the title below, you can find him wherever it is on your phones. But yeah, come on, guys, get this up to 150. But I'm looking at the Joao Felix stuff now, right? So what I was gonna say is, when you look at that Chelsea lineup, none of them scare you, right?
Yeah, not really, no.
I'm looking at.
Well, right? I mean, all of them on their day, if they're in form, they can all do a trick. But yeah, you're right. Like, I mean, obviously he's an upgrade. I just don't think makes that much of a difference, mate. I think you're making out like it's going to be the difference between them finishing 10th or 3rd. And
no, but I mean, it does make the difference between finishing 10th, like surely.
Yeah, but if you finish 10th or you finish 6th, does it matter? Like, you know,
well, European spot maybe.
Okay, well, 7th. I don't know. Like, to me, I still think they're going to they're going to finish 7th out of the top 7 teams. And I don't think that gets them I don't think that gets them Europe. Listen, I might be wrong,
mate. It wouldn't matter. You know what? He helps that midfield out. That's what I'm kind of, in a way, a little bit worried about. Like as in terms of that midfield is so dry. I like Kovacic and what's his name, Zakaria. I like that midfield pivot. It's a very solid pivot. Now, if you add Felix potentially, or Havertz to drop, or Mount to drop back in the 10. It's a decent midfield with Felix as a false 9. That's very decent in my eyes. Like, it keeps the ball for them a lot more. But you're right. Joao Felix, when the last time he scored like 15 plus goals?
Is he cup tied as well for Europe? We're cup tied for Europe, right?
Oh, he's played for Atletico, so I'm gonna imagine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna imagine that he has. Sean hating Ed says because he knows Chelsea might finish above them and get Conference League.
Maybe.
Pablo Az says, here comes Fabrizio, the tapping merchant 10 minutes later. Of course, David Ornstein was there first. Jack says, Felix starts for Chelsea, he doesn't for Arsenal. Christian says, I don't care that Chelsea get him good for them. I just think he's Joao Felix, total P-boy if he passes on a title charge. Who else is saying, Lucky Six says, as United team will still double up on Zakaria Newboy. Christian again says, mentality of football is dead as fuck. How the fuck do you go to Chelsea on loan for 6 months in 10th place? That sounds like a bit of jealousy, I think, Christian. I'll be so honest. Apparently Jordan Brown says he won't be cup tied. So yeah,
he won't be. Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna move on from all of this talk. Like, it was nice that it showed up. Don't know where Hamza went. His phone's on blank at the moment. I'm sure he'll be back in a sec. But yeah, who have we got next on the agenda? It would be Liverpool. Now,
yeah,
let's talk some shit on Liverpool, bro.
How did they always get away with it? The VAR, whether it's visible or
invisible. Their cameras are so high and dodgy. Why is VAR relying on them cameras? You'd think that VAR you would think, one, go adopt the European one where they got the lines and it's all, all that technology stuff is there.
Yeah.
Refuse to do it. I don't know why. Is it stubbornness? I don't know. And then now they don't even have to draw a line properly, and it's at that point where it's just like, bro.
To me, it doesn't make any sense how at Anfield you can't have every area of the pitch should be visible at any particular time, but it always ends up in their favour. I can't. I mean, I might be wrong, and if there's Liverpool fans that are watching, then let me know if they've been the victim of some horrific VAR bad call or whatever. But it always seems to support them. It always seems to help them out. And Wolves on the day were, for me, the far better team. Incredibly unlucky to not get through, and I really hope that they do just as good a job in the return leg at Molineux next week. But they should already be in the hat.
So they got to go bright. Imagine this, Hamza. Yeah, so it's Liverpool they've got to go
Mm.
Brighton away, Wolves away.
Mm.
They got Brighton away, then Wolves away on a replay. Then I think they got Brighton again away, and then they got to go Wolves away again.
Oof. Tough games.
Something
Very
along
tough
those
games.
lines.
And they got Chelsea as well in there.
Oh,
Very
they got
tough.
they got Chelsea in a fixture on, and I think they play on the 21st.
Yeah, 21st. So we got Wolves in the cup. Oh, sorry, Brighton, then Wolves, then Liverpool, then Wolves, then Everton. Yeah, and then Newcastle.
No, you're
and
forgetting.
then Real Madrid.
And then you forget they got Brighton in the FA Cup as well. They got them twice.
Yeah.
No, actually, tell a lie. They might not, because they might not go through.
Wolves,
they might not go through.
Wolves.
Oh, they got Wolves. Yeah, they got Wolves.
Yeah. They might not even go through, to be fair. So
listen, to me, I'm praying for Liverpool's downfall. Do you know why? Because I want Bellingham. I want Bellingham desperately. I really want Bellingham. He's the guy. He's the guy I want desperately at City. And I know if they don't make top 4, they're out the race. They're out the race.
Oh, I don't know. They still got that draw though, mate. Like, you saw that Josko Gvardiol the other day saying, if I had my choice of any club, I'd go to Liverpool. Like, Liverpool have still got that draw where the best players in the world will always, or some of them will always want to go there because of the history, right? And fair play. But
I think they do, but players are smart these days. They want to win trophies. No player will refuse the chance not to be managed by Pep Guardiola or not to go to Real Madrid. That's where the success is. And players want to win things. When you saw Haaland, he chose a project. He doesn't mind. He chose a project. Players want to choose a project. And to me, other than Liverpool, the fact that his dad was a Liverpool supporter, that's the only threat to me. Yeah, Bellingham. But if we go toe-to-toe with Liverpool, there's no doubt about it that he will be deluded. What a deluded guy he will be to join. Not to join Pep Guardiola. Why would you not join?
I don't know.
You're guaranteed success.
I think that if Liverpool get taken out by, if FSG leave, the rumours Man United are going to have new owners, Liverpool looking for new owners, maybe Tottenham. If Liverpool do get taken out by some guy, some ownership model who's got a disregard for money, and they can go and spend the money, Liverpool could easily be right back up the top of contention again in a couple of years. Look, the speed in which Newcastle have gone from zero to hero, Liverpool could do that just as quickly. So I think that nothing changes with Bellingham or people like Gvardiol. If Liverpool want them, they've got just as much of a fighting chance as anybody else to get hold of them. But what I would say though about the game yesterday or whenever it was, I think Wolves had the tactics that Wolves put into play. I think they absolutely figured out Liverpool, and I wouldn't be surprised if they could do the same thing again, not only in the cup reply, but then a week later in the league. If Wolves can impact and affect the same strategy and do it to the same standard, I think Liverpool could struggle in both of those games.
AJ says here, Musiala at City is better than having Jude. Big up for the super chat, AJ. I'm not too sure about that one. I think Jude suits them a lot better, in my opinion, but big up for that. But yeah, man, look, Liverpool Football Club, long may it continue. Obviously, as a United fan, I can't stand them, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna go for the next 5 minutes. Don't really need to keep it too far. It's only an FA Cup weekend review, really. And the last that we're going to talk about is going to be Arsenal, really. Arsenal Football Club. What are we saying on Arsenal? You might have them next in the cup. Hamza, I think you probably got a lot. You got them in the North London derby, Sean. Obviously, Hamza, you're going to obviously have an agenda against them. You should support them, of course. And so your ex.
I'm joking now.
Yeah, you're joking. Oh, yeah, that old chestnut.
Hey, listen, no. Listen, Arsenal. Listen, I predicted, cause there's TikTok video I was doing before the summer, and I used to go to Arsenal space, and I say, listen, give Arteta's the guy. Arteta will go to the top. I promise you this. I've said it. Arteta coaching skills will take him to the top. Arsenal, he will achieve. I saw what he did with Leroy and all that stuff. Sane, Sterling, what he did. He worked, and he's so enthusiastic. And I would love to just. He is the guy. He's the guy. He's the future of football. One of the future of football. That Arteta is the guy. Without Arteta, Arsenal nothing, completely. They can have Saka, Martinelli. They'll have bottle job mentality. They took Jesus, Zinchenko, and Arteta. We gave them 3 who have absolutely transformed the football club. The football club completely, they've got this belief. They've never had this belief. I said to people, they're young, enthusiastic players with enthusiastic managers. You will see they'll go to the top. They're playing amazingly, but I think they'll fall. Now they can't falter because pressure's on them. Pressure's on them. Everyone's watching them now. People put them under pressure. They can't bottle the league because it will get into them. Cause they can't bottle the league. They're coming up.
I personally want. Obviously, Sean, you don't. Obviously, Hamza, you don't. But I want them to win the league. Like for me,
you want them to win the league.
Out of Arsenal and Manchester City, yes. Like I grew up on the Arsenal. I get it. I grew up in an Arsenal rivalry, and that rivalry probably be the best rivalry in my lifetime that I've witnessed, right? Because later in the days, obviously, when I got to about 16, 17, 18, Man United's drop-off happened. But for me, history is still history. Liverpool are direct main rivals alongside Manchester City. And that's what I will... And I think a lot of Manx will say as well that Liverpool, Manchester City. Why would I want you doing a three-peat of trophies when my manager's done that twice? And that remains for me. And obviously for the older heads, they will also say that, not from Manchester, they'll also say Liverpool, Manchester City. Because that was before Arsenal rivalry that happened in the late the late 90s. So so for me, I'd rather them win the league, regardless of the fans and how dire it will be for the whole damn season. It is what it is. That's just my take on it. I don't know if anyone else. By the way, we're like 2 subs from 6,200, I believe. So if anyone hasn't subbed that you're watching right now, make sure you sub in to myself. And make sure you go look at Sean's channel as well. He makes great content. He walks around with his dog talking about, Spurs on his walks every morning, which is quite nice and refreshing, to be fair. You don't really see Spurs in nice, nice settings and all that pretty stuff. But yeah, and we're like 7 likes away from 150. So big up everyone that has liked the video. And also go check out Hamza if you want to see shameless content on Twitter. It's down below. Man. You can see it, Man City Hardcore.
I'm the only representative from the English Premier League that's representing
us. If Arsenal lose against Oxford today, I will absolutely love it. I would love it. But,
of course, yeah.
But Sean, I'd rather see Manchester City versus Arsenal. It's another high tempo game. So someone has to go out. Someone has to. And it'll be the first battle of the season between Arteta and Pep.
Yeah. Oh, because they haven't played yet, have they? That's all.
No, not whatsoever.
We're gonna play 3 times.
Yeah. It's that's going to be fascinating. Look, of course, I'd love Oxford to do one on Arsenal, just because it would be brilliant to brag like bragging rights and then come down a little peg and maybe knock their confidence a little bit. But ultimately, I don't expect it to happen. It's going to be fascinating to see what they do. This is the thing. I don't know what will happen. I think that Arsenal could easily get a draw at Man City, depending on which formation City play on the day. If they go with Haaland, everything goes through him. If they don't go through Haaland, they can play that sexy football. But it's a fascinating encounter. I think it will be a very tight affair, but a great game. So yeah, I agree with you, Kaz. Like I'd like to see Oxford win, but in all honesty, it's not a problem if they don't. Because there's a brilliant.
Wouldn't mind a replay. Wouldn't mind a replay.
Yeah, exactly. Even exactly, you could see them play each other 4 times in quick succession, and that will be exhausting for them and fascinating for everybody else. So
yeah, I understand that.
I think, Kaz, you have to be careful. If Arteta wins the league, listen, we're not going to get the brunt. Yeah, we've won already Premier League. They'll come from Man United. They'll call Ten Hag a fraud for not getting anything, despite all that spending on 100 million. They'll come.
What do you mean not getting anything? I think my club. Wait, what are you on about? I think my club.
No, they'll come.
I think my club have a very good chance of winning a trophy this season.
If Arsenal win the league, they're coming for United.
Why? Arteta's had 3 seasons. He will complete his 3rd season, and he spent around. It depends if you count Pepe or not. But they had to pay it for when obviously Emery got sacked. Pepe was there. Cool.
They will say
million. Since Arteta was there, they had to pay it. So yeah, but they're going to pay the excess of that. They're going to have to pay for how much for Mudryk now. Clearly, they're going to pay for Mudryk.
They'll say a rookie with no experience came and won the league for them.
That's
when
fine.
When the Ten Hag guy had all that money, all that experience at Eredivisie, la 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 la. He has to win the league. They'll come for him. They'll come for Klopp and say, how come Arteta has won the same league title as Klopp when he's a rookie as well? They'll come for managers like Conte. They'll come for Chelsea Football Club. And the only fan, they can't come for us because we've got all these league titles. They can't come for us. And I'm telling you now, it's better you support us.
No, it's
because
not.
we win the league. We'll
No, it's
never brag
not.
about it.
That's horrible.
City will just move on
That's disgusting. I
next
can't. I
season.
don't want to hear that in my ears, bro. It's like Tottenham wanting Arsenal. I don't know. Like it's a bit weird to say, but it's like a Tottenham fan and Sean saying, "I'd rather Arsenal wanting to win the league rather than Chelsea." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd rather Chelsea win the league, right?
I'd rather Man City win the league. I'll
Yeah, of
let you have
course,
that
because they're not your direct rivals. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing more to it. You know what? Actually, I've got a few minutes left. I've got a few more minutes left.
Cause I'm just going to a meeting, guys. I had a 4:15 meeting.
That's fine.
Thank you, guys, man.
Big up.
Good to
Big
see you,
up.
mate.
Nice
Big
one,
up, man. Thanks so much. Love, bro.
Last one I'm going to talk about is just Man United quickly. Of course, after they beat Everton. Sean,
Yeah.
your opinions on Man United. Look, remember, but just before the end of the year, I was telling you we're going to finish above you, innit? By the end of the year, you said you were still going to be above you. End of the year, we actually nipped that 4th place spot. Do you think we're going to finish top 4 or not?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still a long way to go. But if the form of the season so far continues, then, but yeah, I think the top 4 will be in any particular order: City, Arsenal, Newcastle, and Manchester United. And I think Tottenham, Liverpool, and Chelsea are going to battle it out for 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's the way it looks at the moment. But lots of twists and turns remaining. Yeah,
unless Marcus Rashford was to get injured, and then it's like, yeah, you know what? It's probably end of the season, right?
Yeah, or Casemiro. If Casemiro goes down, I think that would disrupt a lot of your flow. So, but yeah, look, mate, you're playing brilliant. You're playing really good football. You've settled into the Ten Hag system really quickly, surprisingly quickly. I thought it was going to take a lot longer. And fair play, like it kills me to say it because I was wrong about it. I thought Man United were going to be like close to us, but behind us for a while. But look, Tottenham have obviously completely fallen apart to some extent with our ability to churn out victories.
To be fair, that could all change in the next 3 weeks. Let's say, like Man United's got Arsenal just like yourself, got Man City just like yourself. You got Palace, who you just battered away. Then you got whoever you've got.
You've got Fulham. Yeah, but Fulham are a really good team at the moment as well, aren't they? Fulham are no mugs.
Yeah, but
so,
I think Harry Kane battered Fulham in the past. I think he's just hunting ground for him. But United, for me, I'm not really fussed where we finish in the league. If it's 4th and 3rd, I don't care. No difference to me. But when I say
does 5th place this season, does that get you into the Champions League? Has that rule been come in yet?
I think I think that only works if an English club was to win it.
No, I know that was the old rule.
Or someone at Europa League, an English team won it or something like that. But I think
there's some coefficient ruling, isn't there? I thought there was something about like the 5th place team can qualify if they're the highest coefficient. I don't know. If anyone in the comments knows, let me know. But
yeah, no idea. There's not really much to talk on United. Look, they're just doing well. I think we can win the Carabao Cup. I think we can probably go far now in the FA Cup. Obviously, you got Reading in the 4th round.
At home, yeah.
At home as well. So who knows what it's gonna. What's after the 4th round? Is it
5th round? It's last 16 first. Yeah.
Yeah. Was it 5th and last 16?
No, it's so 4th round, then it's the 5th, then it's the quarterfinals.
Yeah. And then who knows what the draw's gonna be? But we kind of get lucky with the draws this season. But
who have you got in the Carabao Cup?
We got Charlton.
Oh wow.
That's tomorrow. I think that's tomorrow night. I believe is it tomorrow night? Yeah, it's tomorrow night.
And that's the quarterfinals, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the quarterfinals.
Who else is in the quarters?
Southampton, Man City, and Newcastle, and somebody.
Wow. Okay.
Somebody. There's a couple teams. I can't remember who it is.
So you think it'll be a United City final?
I think it's gearing up for that. I think it is gearing up for that.
That'd be excellent.
Yeah, but we're gonna wrap up there as well, guys. 150 likes on the dot, which is appreciated. It's nice to see that. Big up for anyone here. We're gonna be back tomorrow with a part one preview of the Manc Derby, because we're gonna do 2 parts on Tuesday and Thursday. So tomorrow, make sure you're there. It's gonna be Daps and Big Steve, and also myself and somebody else along those lines. Yeah, who knows? But anyways, big up everyone that's in here. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you look at Sean's socials right there. And also, furthermore, just just genuinely have a good day, man. So yeah, in a bit. Take care.